I have spent the last 3 years studying e commerce, working with businesses, creating content around handmade businesses, and one thing became very obvious. The businesses that succeed don't necessarily have better products, they simply make better business decisions. Today, I want to share the 5 biggest growth blockers I have consistently noticed. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to focus on if you want your handmade business to grow in 2026. Hi everyone, I'm Bella and welcome back to my channel. If you're passionate about starting or growing an online business, building a profitable handmade brand, learning e commerce, marketing, finance, and creating multiple income streams, then you're in the right place. My goal with this channel is to share practical strategies, real experiences, and honest advice that can genuinely help you build a successful business. And before we continue, I have one small request. I noticed that around 60% of you who watch my videos haven't subscribed yet. If you're enjoying this content and finding it helpful, I would truly appreciate it if you subscribed. It really motivates me to keep creating more valuable videos like this and help our community of aspiring entrepreneurs continue to grow. Now, if you're ready, let's dive into the 5 biggest growth blockers that keep most handmade businesses from growing and, more importantly, how you can avoid them. Number one, you're building products instead of building a brand. The first growth blocker I have consistently noticed is something I see almost every single day. Most handmade business owners spend months perfecting their product but very little time building a brand around it. And honestly, I completely understand why. Because when you're starting a handmade business, it's easy to believe that better your product is, the more sales you'll get. You spend hours choosing the perfect materials, you test different colors, you improve your finishing, you experiment with packaging, you keep asking yourself, how can I make this product even better? And that's important. A high quality product is the foundation of every successful business. But over the last 3 years, one thing has become very clear to me. A great product might get someone's attention, but a great brand gives them a reason to remember you. By the way, if this section gave you a new perspective on your business, I would really appreciate it if you took a second to hit the like button. Now, here's the second growth blocker that completely changed the way I think about running an online business. And honestly, I think this is one of the biggest reasons so many handmade businesses stay stuck. Let me ask you something. Imagine you spend hours creating content for Instagram. You upload reels consistently. You reply to inquiries. Maybe you even spend money on advertisements. Finally, a customer discovers your business. They place their first order. You're excited. You carefully package it, you ship it, they receive it. They absolutely love it. And then nothing. Weeks go by, months go by, you launch beautiful new products, maybe new panel collection, maybe a new cement decor design. Maybe you introduce gift boxes, but the customer never comes back. Not because they didn't like your product, but because they simply forget your business existed. And honestly, we can't really blame them. Think about your own life for a second. Every single day, we're scrolling through hundreds of Instagram posts, watching YouTube videos, seeing advertisements, following dozens of brands. It's impossible to remember every small business we have ever purchased from. That's why successful businesses don't just hope customers will come back, they give customers a reason to come back. I think one of the biggest mindset shifts every handmade business owners need to make is this. Your first sale shouldn't be the finish line. It should be beginning of a relationship because getting someone to trust your business for the very first time is actually the hardest part. They have already discovered your brand, they have already spent their money, they have already experienced your quality, they have already trusted you enough to place an order. So why would you let that relationship end after one purchase? So the obvious question becomes, Bella, how do you actually stay connected with your customers? Especially if you're running your business alone. You're making products, packaging orders, creating content, managing your website, replying to customers. You can't manually message every person who has ever purchased from you. This part of video is sponsored by Omnisend, and I genuinely think it's relevant because we're talking about building relationships with customers, not just making one sale. One thing I really like about Omnisend is that it helps you continue the conversations with your customers even after they have left your website. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine someone visits your online store and purchases one of your handmade candles. Instead of that journey ending at checkout, it can actually become the beginning of long-term relationship. With Omnisend, you can automatically send a warm thank you email after every purchase, making customers feel appreciated from day one. A few days later, you might share a simple candle care guide or styling ideas to help them enjoy their purchase even more. Then, when you're launching a new collection or offering a seasonal promotion, you don't have to hope they randomly see your Instagram post. You can reach them directly through email or SMS. And if someone adds product to their cart but leaves before checking out, Omnisend can automatically send a friendly reminder giving them another chance to complete their purchase. The best part is that once you have created these workflows, they continue working quietly in the background while you're busy creating products, fulfilling orders, or planning your next launch. Something else I appreciated is that it's designed specifically for e commerce businesses. So you don't need to build everything from scratch. It comes with ready made automations, templates that are beginner friendly, integrates with more than 200 e commerce tools, is trusted by over 150,000 brands worldwide. And if you're switching from another email platform, their team even offers a free migration service. So they handle moving your emails and automations for you. If building stronger customer relationship is something you want to improve this year, I have left the link in the description where you can learn more about Omnisend and see if it's the right fit for your business. A helpful email, a thoughtful follow up, a seasonal update, a thank you message, those little moments may seem insignificant on their own, but together they remind customers that there's a real person behind the brand who genuinely cares about them. Before we move on, I would love to know your experience. Have you ever had a customer buy from you once and then disappear? Or maybe you have had loyal customers who keep coming back every few months? Tell me about it in the comments. I always enjoy reading your stories because they often inspire our future videos and remind other entrepreneurs that they're not alone in this journey. You're posting content instead of building trust. Now let's move on to the third growth blocker, and I genuinely believe this is the one of the biggest misunderstandings in online business today. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that marketing simply means posting every day on Instagram or uploading more YouTube videos. And honestly, I used to think the same. And I thought if I kept posting consistently, eventually sales would automatically flow. But over the years, after creating content myself and observing successful brands, I realized something very different. Posting content isn't marketing, building trust is marketing. Think about it this way: imagine two businesses selling almost identical handmade candles. The first business uploads a beautiful product photo with the caption available now. That's it. The second business shares the entire story behind that candle. They show themselves pouring the wax, testing different fragrances, packaging every order with care. They share customer reviews, they answer frequently asked questions. They even admit when something didn't go according to plan and explain how they improved it. Now ask yourself, which business feels more trustworthy? Exactly. Because people don't buy products, they buy confidence. They want to know who they are buying from. Especially in the handmade businesses, customers love seeing the person behind the brand. That's your biggest advantage over large companies. Big brands can manufacture products, they can't manufacture genuine human connection. That's something only you can create. One thing I always remind myself when I'm creating content is this: every piece of content should answer one simple question: how does this help my audience? Maybe you're teaching them something, maybe you're inspiring them, maybe you're solving a problem they have been struggling with, maybe you're simply taking them behind the scenes so they feel connected to your journey. Every helpful post is another reason for someone to remember your brand. And if you have learned even one thing so far, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. My goal with this channel is to help more women build profitable online businesses with practical, honest advice based on real experience, not just trends. Growth blocker 4: you're busy but not mighty. Now let's talk about something that completely changed the way I look at businesses. And honestly, this lesson doesn't sound very exciting at first, but I truly believe it's one of those successful businesses continue growing year after year. Most entrepreneurs are incredibly busy. They are replying to customers, packaging orders, managing social media, buying supplies, creating new products, and at the end of the day, they're exhausted. And here's the question: busy doing what? Because being busy doesn't always mean you're making progress. One of the biggest mindset shifts I had was to realize that businesses' decisions should never be based on feelings alone. They should be based on numbers. Now, don't worry, I don't mean you need to become an accountant, but there are few numbers every handmade business owner should understand. The first is revenue. That's the total amount of money coming into your business. It looks exciting, but revenue doesn't tell the whole story. What really matters is profit. Profit is what left after you have paid for your materials, packaging, shipping, marketing, payment fees, and every other business expense. Revenue might look impressive on social media. Profit is what actually helps your business grow. Then there's something many people never track: returning customers. Ask yourself, out of every 10 customers, how many come back? If the answer is one or two, that's huge opportunity for improvement. Another important number is your average order value. In simple words, how much does the average customer spend every time they place an order? Could you encourage customers to purchase matching products, gift sets, bundle offers? Small improvements here can make a huge difference over time. And finally, one number I think every online business should pay attention to is conversion rate. If 100 people visits your site, how many actually buy? If only 1% purchases, the problem might not be your product. It could be your website, your product photos, your pricing, your customer reviews, or simply the trust you're building. The point I'm trying to make is successful businesses don't grow because they guess better. They grow because they measure better. Every number tells a story. And once you start understanding those stories, you stop making random decisions. You start making smarter ones. You are running a business instead of building one. Finally, this is probably the biggest lesson I have learned over the last few years, and honestly, it's the lesson I wish someone had taught me when I first started learning about online businesses. Don't just run your business, build one. At first, those might sound like the same thing, but they're completely different. Running a business means you're constantly reacting. Every order needs your attention. Every customer message depends on you. Every Instagram post is created at the last minute. Every inventory update lives in your head. Every decision waits for you. The business only moves because you're constantly pushing it forward. Building a business is different. It's about creating system that makes everything easier. Instead of deciding what to post every morning, create a monthly content calendar. Instead of checking inventory from memory, use a spreadsheet or inventory tracker. Instead of rewriting the same customer replies every day, save templates for your most common questions. Instead of remembering every business task, create simple checklists and standard operating procedures, what businesses often call SOPs. These aren't just for big companies. They are for anyone who want to grow without feeling overwhelmed. The goal isn't to work longer hours. The goal is to move repetitive work so you have more time to create, improve, and actually enjoy building your business. One thing I always tell myself is this: if I am doing the same task over and over again, there's probably a better system for it. And once you start thinking like that, your business begins to feel lighter, more organized, more sustainable. Because businesses don't become successful by working hard every single day. They become successful by making today's work easier than yesterday's. So, if you have stayed with me until then, thank you. I genuinely hope this video gave you a different perspective what it really takes to build a successful handmade business. After spending the last 3 years learning about e-commerce, working with online businesses, studying marketing through my MBA, and creating content for this amazing community, I have realized something. I honestly don't believe successful handmade businesses are built because someone had the prettiest cattle, or the most beautiful symmetry, or the lowest prices. I think they are built by ordinary people who simply keep improving one small thing at a time. Maybe this month you focus on building a stronger brand. Next month you improve how you stay connected with your customers. Then you start understanding your numbers. Then you build better systems. None of those changes feel life changing on their own. But together, They compound week after week, month after month. And one day you look back and realize you're running a completely different business from the one you started with. That's the beauty of entrepreneurship. Success rarely comes from one big breakthrough. It comes from hundreds of small improvements that most people never see. I would genuinely love your opinion. Which of the five growth blockers do you think is affecting your business the most right now? Leave a comment below because I read every single one, and many of your questions and experiences inspire the video I create next. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, a subscribe. My mission with BMK Static is to help more women build profitable, sustainable online businesses with honest, practical advice you can actually apply. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I truly appreciate every view, every comment, and every bit of support you give this channel. Until next video, take care of yourself, keep learning, and keep building the businesses you have been dreaming of. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.